Hi everyone, my name is Sonia, and this is part 3 of a 3-part yoga series. Can comprise one practice in itself if you do all 3 together. And it's for people who are recently coming out of rehab because they had an injury or a surgery, or for people who are living with a chronic condition such as Parkinson's disease or arthritis. This final portion is going to be a lying down portion. So for many of us, getting down to the floor is not possible. I'm fully aware of that. So this is something that you could do lying on a bed or lying on some sort of raised surface. Ideally, you're going to have space on both sides of you. So doing it on a couch that's against the wall might not work, but a platform of some sort, finding something that works. You're also going to need a few things. So this is a yoga belt, but you don't have to have a special yoga belt. You can use a men's tie, a scarf, a towel, anything that's just about, 5 feet long or so that you might be able to grab both sides of. It's also helpful to have some pillows or a stack of blankets for one of our postures. If you're doing the practice actually on the floor, you can also use a chair for this final posture that we'll be going over. So get all of those things together, and I'm going to do a little demonstration of getting down onto the floor. Now, if you have not gotten down onto the floor before and nobody else is home, I would not suggest this be the first time that you try it. You probably would want to have a home health aide or a therapist to help you work your way through this before you try it for the first time. But I will show you the way that I like to teach people to get down to the floor as long as they have someone to help them. Because sometimes when you get down, it's very hard to get back up. So I'm going to put my yoga strap down. It's really helpful to have a chair. So I'm going to place one hand on the back of the chair and one hand on the seat of the chair. If you have one leg that's stronger than the other, you're going to keep that leg as your standing leg. So let's pretend that my right leg is my strong leg. And I'm going to stand on that right leg, slowly bend that right knee, and lower my left knee all the way down to the ground. So if you have really bad arthritis or not a great range of motion, this really might not be a possibility for you, but it's a nice thing to be able to do if you have someone to work with you. I'm going to bring my right knee down as well now. And then I'm going to bring the hand that's on the back of the chair to the seat of the chair, and the hand that's on the seat of the chair to the ground. And from here, I'm going to slowly lower my hips and my bum down to the ground. And I can either sit right on my heels, or I might sit a little to the side of my heels. That might be a little bit more comfortable. Once I find my way all the way down, and I can bring one leg and then the other in front of me, scoot my way so that I'm centered on this yoga mat. And once again, you can do this on a bed as well. Come onto my side, slowly lower down onto my elbow, and then all the way down to the ground until I can roll down onto my back. So once I'm on my back, my knees are bent, my feet are on the floor. I'm going to bring both hands to my belly and just take a moment to arrive here, feeling a new relationship to gravity. My feet are firmly pressing into the ground. I can feel the back of my pelvis on the ground, my upper back and the back of my shoulders on the ground. My elbows resting into the ground, back of my head. And I'm just going to release those areas of contact, nice and heavy. There's also some places that are rising away from the ground, so my lower back, the back of my neck. I feel a little bit of space between those parts of me and the ground. And I'm allowing those areas to be there as well. the practice, hopefully your strap is relatively within reach. From here, you're going to bring your right knee into your chest as far as it'll come. Give it a nice squeeze. So stretch your lower back, maybe the back of your right hip, right thigh a little bit. Then take your strap. You might take a few times to get this. You're going to lasso that right foot, so wrapping it around the arch of the foot, holding on either side with your hands, and extend your right leg up. Many people will be about here because the legs are very tight. Some people will be able to get more close to 90 degrees. So wherever you are is fine. You might even have a bend to that right leg. Good, and then from here you can either keep your left leg straight bent as it is, or you might straighten it out. Just have to experiment and see what feels good in your body. So that top leg might be bent, or it might be straight, it might be a little further forward, it might be right overhead. And you can walk your hands up the strap as far as they'll go so that you don't have to be using quite so much effort to keep it there. I like to have my elbows straight for this posture. So this is a really big stretch for a lot of folks. You're going to have a stretch along the back of the thigh and the hamstrings, maybe the hip, maybe down into the calf as well. So staying here and breathing, pressing that right foot up towards the sky and holding on with your hands. And also wrap the strap around the hands so you don't have to do quite so much work in those hands. And take a few deep breaths. From here, take both sides of the strap into your right hand. Bring your left hand to your left thigh and open your right leg out to the right. I like to bring my elbow down to the right because it gives me a little bit of support. So really allow that right leg to open up. You're going to feel a big stretch on the inner thigh. Some of us might be more here, some of us might be a little lower. It's a little bit easier to hold a little bit further up for me. Few nice deep breaths here. It's a really nice way to stretch the legs without straining the back muscles because you have the support of the floor underneath you. From here, bringing the leg back through center takes a little bit of ab work. Then use your left hand to grab onto the strap and cross that right leg just a little bit past center. You're going to get a really nice big stretch along the outer leg, outer knee area. Brings you a tiny bit into a twist. As the hips begin to move left, but your chest stays square to the sky. Inhale to come back to center. And then exhale, taking the strap off, bending that knee, releasing the foot down, and matching with the left. So, second side. Bring the left knee into your chest, giving it a nice squeeze. And then lasso the foot and extend the leg up. You can keep your right knee bent, or you might straighten it if that feels right in your body. And once again, that top leg can be a little bit bent, might be a little further forward, depending on your own body's flexibility, range of motion. Breathing here and feeling what you feel. One of the things that makes yoga a particularly special way to move your body is that there's an emphasis on actually paying attention to how everything feels while you're doing it. So So you're not trying to shut anything out. By paying attention, you can make subtle changes so that everything feels actually a little bit better, a little bit easier. Let the leg open out to the side, holding both sides of the strap in your left hand. You can prop the elbow on the ground to help support it. This might be really challenging for you, so if it's too hard, you can keep the leg straight up towards the sky for this portion. Feeling a nice stretch along the inner thigh. And the breath is steady and present. Take a deep breath in. And on an exhalation, bring it back to center. Take both sides of the strap into your right hand and gently cross the leg past center, getting a nice big stretch on the outside of that left leg. Inhale back to center. Take the strap off, bending the left knee, bending the right knee. We'll do a few bridges. This is a great exercise to do to increase your bed mobility, your movement in bed, and allow you to adjust yourself as you need to and get really nice and strong in the legs. So bending the knees as close as you can, really. And then lift the hips up off the ground. And then exhale to release down again. Lifting the hips up. And exhale to release down. We'll just do a couple more of these. Lifting the hips up. And exhale to release down. The last one we'll hold for about 5 breaths. Feeling the thighs really working. Don't let the knees come apart or drop together. Really nice and parallel. And on your final exhalation, just allow yourself to lower down. From here, bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees fall apart wide. If this is too much intensity in the inner thighs, you can place pillows underneath your legs to support them. From here, bring one hand to your chest and one hand to your belly. Let your eyes fall closed. And just a few nice deep breaths here. This is a really, really soothing posture for many, many people. Feel the parts of your body that are making contact with the ground. Feel the parts of your body that rise away from the ground. Softly let your eyes open, bring your hands to your outer thighs, and gently bring those legs back together. So roll to one side and push your way up. For this final posture, It's going to be a lying down posture, but your legs will be supported. And there's a couple different ways to do it. If you're lying on a bed, I think you'll want to use either a stack of blankets or some pillows underneath your legs. So that would just look, and I'll show it just to you very fast, that would just look something like this. It's very comfortable. If you're lying on the ground and you'd like to have your legs a little bit higher, then you can use a chair. It's really nice if you have someone to help you with this, actually. So if you have a home health aide or you have a loved one who helps to take care of you, maybe you can ask them to come in at this point. Bringing this chair in, lie down once again, and then bringing the legs up onto the chair. There's something about having the legs over the heart that creates a very soothing experience. So let the eyes fall closed, let your legs rest either on the pillows, the blankets, the chair. Palms open to the sky. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Let the skin of your forehead relax. And allow yourself to simply breathe. Letting go of all effort. If your mind begins to wander, simply bring it back to the situation at hand, which is the position you're in, the feeling in your body, and the rhythm and movement of your breath. I'll let you lie here in a quiet state for a few minutes. See if you can do your very best to observe what's happening for you right now. If thoughts float into your mind, observe the thoughts and let them float away. Come back to the body, come back to the breath. Slowly come back to awareness. Take a deeper breath in. And let it out. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. You might stretch your arms overhead. If your legs are up on the chair, you're going to slowly slide them away from the chair and down to the ground, rolling to one side. If you're on a set of pillows or blankets, you can also roll to one side. And then use your top arm and your bottom elbow to push down into the ground in order to sit up. If you're down on the ground and you need some help getting up, hopefully there's someone there to help you. I'll walk you through getting up on your own. So you're going to bring your body to the chair. Whichever one is your strongest leg, bend that knee and place that foot on the floor. Push down into that foot, leaning on the chair, and come up onto your other knee. Then bring your hands to the seat of the chair. Once again, that strong foot is on the ground, the strong knee is bent. Push down into that foot to stand up. And then you can actually just make your way to a seat. Taking a moment here, feeling your blood pressure come back to normal. So that ends our 3-part yoga series. I'm so glad that you joined us, and I hope that you are very, very well and stay well. All the best to you. Thank you.